Hello Stampers! I'm back with my gnomes. I just love these little gnomes, and they come from the Kindest Gnome stamp set from Stampin' Up. Now this is a very popular stamp set, and it has 4 gnomes in it and their little house and a bunch of sentiments. And there is a coordinating die set that if you're going to pick up the stamp set, you might want to give that a look, because you can get the bundle for 10% off. The stamp set and the dies together. So I'm going to be using this little guy here. I just think he looks so cute in his little denim outfit. And I put together some oranges and blues just to make this card really pop. And it turns out super cute. So I have the Kindest Gnome stamp set, and then I'm using the wheat stamp from the Gathered Wheat stamp set. This is another popular set, and I'm using the sentiment, "My heart is filled with gratitude." I just thought that was perfect for around the Thanksgiving time. So we're going to be using those 2 stamp sets, and all the dimensions for the pieces for this card are down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them down there, along with all the links to the products that I use. That'll take you directly to my online store where you can shop 24/7. So we're going to start with a basic white panel that's 3.5 by 4, and I die cut a circle out of a double layer Post-it note. You can punch it, die cut it, whatever you have. It's a 2-inch circle, and I did it out of a double layer, and I cut as much out of the sticky part, this is the sticky part up here, as I could, so it sticks to the cardstock so we can mask for our sun. So there we have that, and we're going to get going on our background right away, and I'm going to bring in Mango Melody. Now this is a super bright yellowish orange, and it's perfect to make your sky really pretty bright. So I'm going to start with a blending brush and that Mango Melody, and I'm going to put this all over the cardstock, and it's going to be like a base coat. I like doing this and layering my colors because they just blend so wonderfully together. And then you don't run the risk of having a striped sky. You know what I mean? Like a whole solid color of one color and then another color and then another color. If you put this Mango Melody all over your cardstock here, then your next color will blend into that, and you won't have that stripy look. Okay, so that was Mango Melody, and next we're going to bring in a darker color, and we're going to use Cajun Craze, and I'm going to put this both at the top and the bottom of this panel. So I'm going to do like half of where the sun is. And when I load my blending brush, I like to start at the top of the cardstock, and then let the ink run out some, and then come down a little further. And then you'll get a blended look instead of that stripe look I was talking about earlier. Now there it is at the top. Now we're going to put some here at the bottom too. And I'm just using a circular motion here. You want to make sure you're not covering up all of your light color in here, that Mango Melody. That really just makes it look bright and sunny. So there's our Cajun Craze at the top and bottom of our panel. And next I'm going to take off our mask for our sun and see how bright it is. It's like super bright. So I want to tone that down a bit. And so I have some So Saffron here and a blending brush, and I'm just going to do a circular motion here. And I'm starting in the center of the sun and then working my way out. And it's okay to leave a light edge around there. That's perfectly fine. So there that is. And next I want to put my sentiment in. And I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm putting the sentiment in first before I put the wheat in, and that way I know when I stamp my wheat that I'm not covering up the space I need for the sentiment. So again, Memento Tuxedo Black. I'm going to give it a try there. I like to try my sentiments before I stamp them on the cardstock. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. There we go. And there is our sentiment. And then I have this wheat stamp here, and we're going to go ahead and stamp that. Using that same Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to put some off here to the side. And you can stamp this image, you know, higher and lower, because you don't want them all to be the same height. Otherwise you look like you have little soldiers standing there. So we want them to look more natural. And you can tilt it to one side or the other to give it even another look. And I'm going to pull this up here pretty high. Here we go. And then add some down here. And maybe one more on this edge here. Looked a little bare. There we have our wheat all stamped out. And I want some darkness at the bottom of this panel. So I'm going to use this same Memento Tuxedo Black and a black blending brush. And I'm going to add some of that to the bottom of this panel all the way across. And that helps make your colors pop too when you have that darkness down here. There we go, and it gives a little ground area so that our little guy looks like he's sitting on the ground when we put him on. Okay, so there is our background. It's all completed. It goes really fast. If you want to color your wheat in, you can. I left mine blank. I didn't add any color to it. So there is that. All right. So now I want to stamp my little gnome, and I picked the gnome that's seated down. I just thought he'd look cute sitting on the ground there with the wheat behind him. And I'm using that Memento Tuxedo Black again. This is the perfect ink to use with your Stampin' Blends. So there he is, all stamped out. And now we're done with this Memento. I can put it away. And now it's time to color this. And so we're going to start coloring his little outfit in. And I'm going to bring out a couple blue Stampin' Blend markers. And this is the dark Tahitian Tide that we're going to start with first. And I'm going to color his entire hat in. And I wanted it to look like denim. So I'm bringing in this Tahitian Tide, and then I'm going to add some Night of Navy to this to get it to look like denim. So I'm going to color his little pants in too. There's a little bit here. Okay, so the Night of Navy, I'm going to add around the hat edge, just on each side. And here. And then I'm going to color the brim, the inside of the brim where he's holding it up. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to this Tahitian Tide, and I'm going to use the pointed end, and I'm going to start coloring over that Night of Navy, and that helps blend it together. And it starts looking really cute. It's got that light area in the center of the hat. And I'm going to do that same thing with this pants. I'm going to add just a little bit of this around the outside of that and down here at the bottom there. and then blend it again with the little end of our marker. So there's his little denim outfit, and I'm going to give him a little orange shirt. You just need to color the sleeves in. And this is dark pumpkin pie. I thought he'd look like more like fall if I gave him a little pumpkin pie shirt. So there's that. His sleeves are all colored in. I'm going to color his skin tone now. And I'm coloring in his little mitten looking hands. Here we go. And then I need to do his nose and his eye area. So there's his skin done. And then I'm going to add some dark pale papaya. And I'm going to add that right on his nose. I'm going to give him like a little bit of color there, like a C, to give him a little redder looking nose. And now we're going to color in his beard, and I'm going to start with a dark so saffron marker, and I wanted like a little yellowish tint to his brown beard. So I'm coloring the entire beard in with this dark so saffron, and that really leaves some highlights when we put in our soft suede, which is next. This is the light soft suede marker. And so I'm going to put this in kind of in streaks here. Now you may color this whole thing in, but boy, that yellow really gives it a different tone. And you can leave some of those highlights if you want showing. So there he is, all colored in. He's super cute, and now I just need to cut him out. I'm going to use my paper snips and quickly cut him out, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I used my paper snips and I cut him all out. And he's really pretty quick to cut out. And so now we have that piece done. I'm just going to set it aside for now. And I need to add some color to our panels here that we're going to back these with. I'm going to use Night of Navy and a blending brush. And I'm just going to add a little color to the bottom of this panel here, just a tiny bit. And this is just to coordinate with his little outfit, to bring in that little bit of blue on the edges there. And then for this panel here, I'm going to go around the edges, back and forth motion here, all the way around. And I'm going to be coloring in, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch. I just like that little darkness, a little grunge. Okay, once I go around, now I'm going to get dark just on the corners here. I'm going to add some there. I'm going to come on around, just do the corners. There we go. So there's those panels. Now we're ready to put things together. And I'm going to flip my paper over here, my scratch paper, just so I don't get any unwanted color on things. Now I'm putting this together with a 5.5 by 8.5 Mango Melody card base, and I folded it in half to create my quarter card, and inside I put a Tahitian Tide panel in that's 4 by 5.25, and then a basic white panel on top of that that's 3 3/4 by 5. Then on the outside, we're going to start putting these panels together. And I'm going to take my main panel and I'm going to adhere it to this panel here. I'm going to glue mine on using multi-purpose glue. And you may find that your panels aren't cut exactly. And that's what I've found here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over to one side. And then I'm going to take it over to my trimmer and trim it up. There we go. Okay, by the magic of video, I have my cardstock all trimmed up. It's nice and neat now. And then I'm going to adhere this to this background panel here, the Pacific Point one. So this was Pacific Point and this is Tahitian Tide, if I didn't say that earlier. Glued those together, and now I just wanted some linen thread here. And I'm just going to wrap this around. And I'm going to use a mini glue dot here to put this on with. I like to stick the end of it on a glue dot. And that keeps it from coming off. Then I'm just going to wrap it around a few times. You don't want to pull it too tight, else you end up with your cardstock being bent on the edges. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on there. I just want to make sure it's tight. And I'll just cut that off and that's ready to go. And then I just want to tie a little bow here. So I'm just going to take a little piece of this and tie my bow. There we go. I made a big bow and then I'm just going to fiddle with it just a second to get it the size that I want and get the legs going the right direction. And then I'm going to just take one of those mini glue dots and I'm going to roll it up with my finger and put it on the knot on the back of this. And then I can stick it on my card. I'm just going to stick it right there. Now I'm going to trim the little ends. There we go. So there's my little bow on there. Super cute. Now I'm going to adhere this to my card front. Again, I'm using my multi-purpose glue. Just add some love in there. And I'm going to put this on the front. Just center it up. Okay. There we go. And you can pop this panel up if you want to. I just didn't find it necessary, so I just glued it down. So now I'm going to put on my little gnome here, and we are going to pop him up. And I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put one on top of his hat, and then put one down here on the bottom, and one more. And I want him put on here so he looks like he's sitting in the dirt, or on the ground, I should say. There we go. And a cute on there. He just pops, doesn't he? So there is our card. You can certainly put a thank you in there or happy Thanksgiving or whatever you feel. And there is our project for today. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. It's a lot of fun to create. Thanks for joining me. Bye.